Big SEC guys. We're back. Joe, how you doing?
I'm doing much better after these rankings just dropped, Daniel.
Woo, you called it. Joe texted me, folks. You go ahead and tell the listeners, Joe. Don't let me tell your story.
What time was it? About 10:30 this morning, something like
Yeah,
that?
early this
Basic
morning. Yeah.
Basically, the line shifted in Vegas to Bama minus 3,000 to make the college football playoff, which is what, 98% chance basically is what the
Yeah.
math
Yeah.
comes out
100%
to.
chance, basically.
Immediately picked up the phone to text my fellow big SEC guy that, we're gonna jump Notre Dame tonight, folks. It's gonna happen. And, sure enough, I don't know where the leak came from, but somebody talked.
Oh, yeah.
Somebody talked. I was sitting there wondering, like, of course, they have to let ESPN know the rankings somewhat ahead of time so they can get the graphics prepared and all
Yeah.
that kind of stuff.
Exactly right.
I'm not saying somebody in the committee talked, somebody in the media definitely gave a tip, so
That happens. Yeah, I've got a buddy who probably listens to the pod, so shout out if you're listening. You'll know who you are, who does the graphics for CBS Sports, 247 Sports, all their affiliates, and he knows stuff way in advance because he's the one who has to do the graphic design,
very, very cool. Very
and
cool.
he's pretty tight-lipped, but sometimes we'll get a little nugget out of him, and it's
Well,
exciting when we do.
loose lip means you're fired, so
Yeah, yeah, he's pretty good. He's pretty good about not sharing too much.
I've got a
Well,
it's
folks.
so funny you say that, uh, my PCP from back in the old glory days in school, he, worked for the NFL Network for years,
Nice.
and, on the group chat, we would sometimes get some info 30 minutes before it would hit the wire, but it was, I guess he doesn't work there anymore now, so sworn to secrecy, we couldn't take it anywhere.
Give us
But
the inside info.
yeah, yeah.
Well, folks, we've got a good episode for you today. We're gonna preview the games or we're gonna review the games like we always do. We're gonna talk SEC championship. We're gonna talk about the new college football playoff rankings hot off the press. If you see me looking to the right, I'm looking at those rankings right now. And then you're gonna get some head coaching grades. We're gonna talk a little bit about the new head coaches. The SEC's been hot. A lot of hiring and firing this past week.
All
Crazy.
came to a head, my man, all came to a
Literally,
head.
all at once. I mean, I know it's like
Mhm.
end of season, right? You do stuff the Sunday after the season ends on Saturday, but I mean, it happened so fast.
It did.
It
Yep.
was like I was texting you, boom, 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 boom.
Mhm. You
It
nailed
was
I
like
mean, we can wait to
Kentucky.
talk about it. You nailed Arkansas, though.
Yeah, yeah, that one. The tea leaves were fairly obvious there. And then yeah, I Auburn, Florida did sort of like a switcheroo.
Flip-flop of what I thought they were gonna do, but it
Exactly
might
right.
work.
Yeah,
It might work.
yeah.
I think Golish probably has a lot better chance of working at Auburn. Summerall, he better hire himself a good offensive coordinator. Bobby Petrino?
Like that.
Yeah, that would be pretty
Yeah,
dangerous.
let's start with the coaches. Let's
Yeah,
start
we
out with
might as
let's mix
well.
it up.
We're already in
We're
here.
already here, folks.
Yep.
We're already off the agenda. That's why we're the best. There's
That's why we're the
no
best.
agenda can
No
control us. It
agenda.
can
You're
only hope
getting us
to
this
contain
is
us.
basically a live episode every
Yeah.
episode.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, there is no script. We roughly talk for 30 seconds beforehand about what we wanna go over, usually tell each other to save it for the pod so that we can get
Yep.
our live reactions, you
Yeah.
know?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, we try to talk as little as possible pre-episode. That way we get the real reactions. That's what you want. So, let's dive in, coaching hires. The big one, right? LSU, folks. LSU has hired Lane Kiffin from Ole Miss.
There is no bigger villain.
If you listen to this podcast and weren't aware of that, absolutely hilarious. Since you're just not not taking part in the SEC news, but you're getting your info from the pod. Love it. If that's
Love
any
it, yeah.
listener, we love it.
You're
That's
coming to the
great.
right spot.
You're coming to the right place. Yeah, Joe, that's I think that's an A plus for me. LSU is going to give him a ton of money. I think Lane Kiffin's really good. I think that's going to end up being a really, really good hire.
Yeah, I do too. I think, until it's not, right? Like,
Yeah,
everything
until he
he's
leaves.
touched is burned down. Whether it needed to or not, Ole Miss did not need to burn, but he
No,
burned it nonetheless. By the way, Juice Kiffin, not his real dog.
ridiculous.
Does this man tell a single truth? Does he tell
Absolutely
a single
ridiculous.
truth?
Just the Juice Giffen thing, ridiculous. All the hot yoga stuff. Have you read any of that? Absolutely
Oh,
hilarious.
yeah, dude.
I'll send you the hot yoga threads.
I
They're
mean,
so
I
funny.
would talk about the text messages flying around also, but we try to keep it pretty PG here, folks.
This is a, parent and kid friendly podcast.
Yeah.
But folks, some of the hot yoga stuff for Lane Kiffin was hilarious. Like he would walk in the hot yoga studio 15 minutes into the session. They're like 30-minute sessions. Then he would just like turn the heat and humidity up, and everyone's like, "What? Stop! Like, what are you doing?" And it was like he would just like not do any of it. He would just do whatever he wanted, and then he would sweat and leave.
Yep.
And then the AD, like, could only talk to him during hot yoga, so the AD would be in the corner and couldn't handle it, so he'd, like, have the door open and there was, like, a fan. The stuff is so funny.
Oh my
Absolutely
goodness.
crazy. But he's a good coach, and, LSU, I mean, that's such a big talent pool, he's such a good play caller, that
Yeah.
feels like a recipe for success.
I will say the one thing that I would be concerned about, well, 2 things I would be concerned about if I'm an LSU fan. So, Steve, open your ears because I know you're ecstatic right now.
Oh, yeah.
Is 1, Lane has usually failed consistently to win the big game. The only big game that he's won that I can think of that was a legit, highly ranked matchup was this year on the road at Oklahoma. Now
Yeah.
he's beaten LSU a couple times, but most of the time when he beats LSU at Ole Miss, they haven't really been as good. And he's lost to them when he shouldn't have lost also. Um, he usually finds a way to lose a game he shouldn't, although this year he did not. Um, so I'd be worried about that. I would also be worried about it's gonna be great while it's great, and while it's great, it's gonna be awesome. But it is going to end poorly.
He's gonna burn
No
it to
doubt
the
about it.
ground. He
Yep,
always does.
yep, he's gonna burn it to the ground, so enjoy enjoy the successes because they're gonna probably come pretty quick, um, but there's a I mean, tick tock, tick tock, tick tock, it's already
Oh, yeah.
going right now. The clock to the self-destruction it's on.
Yeah, that ticking time bomb, that timer just started, folks.
Mhm.
Alright, we talked about LSU, so we gotta talk about Ole Miss. Ole Miss has promoted Pete Golding to their full-time head coach. That, that was interesting to me. I'm gonna give that, like, maybe, like, a C minus? A C
I don't even
minus
think you
for
can you even really
continuity.
grade it? Can you even really grade it until we see what happens in the playoff?
Yeah, good point.
You know?
I'll give it a C for continuity. They kept some
Yeah,
of the roster together. They kept most of the roster together, and they so far at least, and they kept a good bit of the staff together, so that was good.
and the OC, they announced today, the OC, even though he left to go to, um, LSU, has been allowed back to call the games. So, he's gonna,
Yeah,
going to LSU, guys, but he is gonna come back and call the games in game. So, that should, in theory, that should help. I mean, if
they're gonna
anything,
let
maybe
him
they
call
don't
it.
have Lane making them go for it on every 4th down in a key game to where they end up, doing something silly. So, it may help.
And did you see the bonus structure for the OC?
No, I missed that.
I guess he, like, renegotiated, like, the compensation piece, and they're like, "Alright, we'll do performance bonus," and so if they win the national championship, he gets a cool million, so I'm like, "That's pretty good."
Yeah, that's a pretty good incentive to have your heart into it.
Pretty good
Um,
incentive to do a good job.
do your job. Yeah. I did see that there's a chance that Lane will take home like over 1.5 million or 2 million, depending on how well they do. LSU is to pay whatever bonus he would have gotten from Ole Miss based on their success.
Oh, LSU has to pay
LSU
it?
has to pay it. So
Hilarious, hilarious. Yeah, I was looking at his LSU contract got leaked, this morning, and they're paying him 400,000 base and per year, and then it's like 12.5 million in incentives. I was like, "Oh my god."
yeah.
Crazy.
Well, that's probably where we're going. That's
Yeah,
probably
oh,
where we're going across the
that
board
that's
over
where
the next
NIL,
couple of
like,
years.
my biggest complaint with NIL, not to go on a huge tangent, it should all be incentive based. Like,
Or at
yeah,
least make them sign a contract. At least make
oh,
them sign a contract.
100%. Yeah,
All right,
running back.
we're going tangent. Pete Golding, C. Let's see how the
Yep.
playoff goes. My guess is that long term, Pete Golding is not going to be the head coach at Ole Miss, and it's gonna at least allow them to maybe make finish their run this year. After a couple years, they'll probably send him off into the sunset with a good buyout. He can go be DC somewhere else,
Yeah,
and that's when they'll go try to find the next great hire. So
like it.
that
The next
that's
Lane
my good
Kiffin.
guess. Yeah.
All right, Florida got John Summerall from Tulane. I really like John Summerall. That guy's
Yeah.
been in 3 places and he's won everywhere, so guy's a
Yeah, I
winner.
think probably a hire that's not winning the press conference, but may turn out to be pretty good.
Yeah,
Everybody's worried about Sunbelt Billy 2.0, but, I don't know. It was a shallow pool this year, man. It was a shallow pool of coaching potential, and,
yeah, but all the good G5 guys got scooped up, and I think those guys are good. All right, Kentucky, they fired Mark Stoops just, like, out of nowhere. Just middle of the night, "We're done. Stoops is done." And then just as quickly, they hired the offensive coordinator from Oregon, Will Stein. I think that's a pretty good hire. I like Will Stein as, like, a young up-and-coming head coach and play caller, and his dad played for Kentucky, so I think his heart's in it. I think that's a pretty good one.
yeah, we'll see how that plays out, man. Mark Stoops is a really good coach, and that was a very stable program for a long time.
Yeah.
We'll see how it ends up working out.
I like Will Stein, especially if he can keep Cutter Boley and get him rolling, they could be onto something. Got
Not
your
saying
quarterback.
not saying that he's not a good coach. That is a very, very tough job, takes a very good coach to win consistently at, and they
Probably the
just
hardest
got
job in the SEC.
yeah. They just got rid of him too, so
Yeah. Auburn, we all thought Auburn was gonna get John Summerall, that's what all the tea leaves were saying, but they pulled a reverse, and then Auburn pulled a reverse and took Alex Golesh from South Florida. I think that's a pretty good hire. Alex
he's
Golesh, dude's a
also
winner.
he's also keeping Durkin, saw that today.
Oh, he
So,
is? Oh
he's
my
gonna
god.
have a good defense, and he can coach the offensive side of the ball, and I don't know if you've listened listeners, especially if you're an Auburn fan, go look up some of his pregame speeches and some of the way he addresses his team. He could be dangerous. I would be as underwhelming as Florida fans probably feel about Summerall. Auburn fans should be pretty excited about the guy they hired, and that's coming from someone who doesn't wanna see Auburn succeed, so
Yeah.
they
Oh,
should
yeah.
be excited.
No, I mean, Alex Golesh, I think, is, like, a very good young offensive mind, and then you keeping DJ Durkin, so good offense, good defense, good combo.
Tell your boosters to stay out of his way.
Yeah, literally. Let the man go to work.
Yeah.
And then Arkansas, we called this one on the pod, folks, for anybody that
No
cares.
we. No, 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 no. No we. Daniel
Or
called this one.
I called this one, but the tea leaves were fairly obvious. Arkansas was all in on Alex Golesh and Ryan Silverfield, and I think everybody knew Alex Golesh wasn't gonna go to Arkansas, so it's
Probably gonna go somewhere else. Yep.
natural to go to the B option, and that was, Ryan Silverfield from Memphis. I think he's a good coach too. I think he's probably there were like 5 or 6 G5 guys I really liked, and he was probably the 6th of that group, but I think he'll be fine. Um,
I don't.
yeah.
I think he's gonna be gone in 3 years, maybe
Oh,
4,
well,
depending on Arkansas and what they how long they wanna give him, but I think he's not gonna be successful. Look at the previous Memphis coaches that have been plucked from there, and he's probably the worst one of them. So,
yeah.
not
I was
to
thinking
not
that
to
that's
scorch
probably
earth.
more of an
We have such a love-hate relationship with Arkansas this year, and, they'll be back on the hating us again, but
yeah. For no reason at all, our Arkansas team preview is by far our most watched episode, which makes absolutely no sense. Never talk about
we
them.
will have to remember that and really bring our A game for the Arkansas preview next year.
Yeah. Oh, love it. Yeah, I think it's more of a Arkansas problem than a Silverfield problem, but yeah, I mean, I could see him being gone soon. So those are the coach updates. And I think that's it. South Carolina, Shane Beamer, was on the hot seat, but South Carolina announced he's coming back. Boo. So,
He'll be gone next year unless he goes to
yeah.
a bowl game. Well, how many wins do you think he has to have next year? Keep his job.
Well, he said in a press conference, last week, "We're making the playoff next year, I guarantee it." So I was like, "Well, that's good." It's like a child
He
when you tell them
he's
they did a
gone.
bad job.
Yeah.
"Wait
He's
until you see me next time.
yeah,
I'm gonna do
that's
the
right.
best job." Ugh, ridiculous. Alright, let's do a little review. So, we'll go down the list. We had some Friday, Saturday games,
Yeah.
hashtag Thanksgiving. Hope everybody had a nice holiday. Um, Texas A&M, we called that one, Joe. This Texas A&M team is they're not that great.
I was
They're
really, really looking forward to spanking them this weekend, and then
oh, yeah.
Texas beat me to the punch, so
I, I had a good strategy. I did some conference championship parlay bets, and, I had Alabama, Ohio State, and, who was my last one? I can't remember the last one, but I was like, "Oh, Alabama's gonna play Texas A&M and M and just destroy them." So I was like, "That's easy." Now I'm like, "Oh god, Alabama's gotta play Georgia." So that didn't work out quite in my favor,
no,
but we'll
no.
see. Still got Alabama in there. Um, yeah, yeah, this Texas A&M team struggled. Texas looked pretty good. I think Arch is gonna come back next year. I'd like to see him continue to get better, so those
Oh,
are
I
kind of
think
my
Arch is
thoughts.
definitely coming back. I think Arch will probably be the number 1 quarterback taken next year.
You think? You think he's
All
gonna
the
get
hype
better?
from this year will probably come to fruition next year. Um, did
Yeah, he just
A&M
hasn't been that great this year.
did you watch the full game live or just go back and watch it afterwards?
No, I did like the 20-minute highlight.
It looked to me like I watched the whole thing, and to me, it looked like A&M panicked
Yeah,
and, got away from the things that they've done well, especially on offense, and it looked to me like they panicked a little bit, and the moment got too big for them.
they just couldn't stop Quintravion Wisner. He ate them alive.
No.
Yeah, that was
So,
fun.
alright.
Georgia Tech, that was a interesting game. That was way closer than I thought it would be.
Oh, I didn't watch that entire game, I went deer hunting instead. Um, but I watched the recap and, kept up with kinda the stats while I was in the woods. The losing your center during the game is not ideal,
Yeah,
and, um, boy, it's gonna be 2 teams that are beat to pieces playing each other on Saturday.
yeah.
Uh,
Georgia's beat
but,
up.
I mean,
I'm so
Georgia did
proud
what they
of 'em.
had to do. They were better than Tech. I mean, they were better than Tech, and, I think a rivalry game, Tech played over their head a little bit. If they don't move that game to the bins, then Tech might have won it. But they were not going to win that game. Probably the lock of the week should have taken Georgia money line because Tech sold their soul and their chance at winning that game by playing it in the bins and taking the money.
Yeah, yeah, I agree. That I did watch that game. That was an interesting game. Basically, Gunnar Stockton was just didn't have it early on, and Kirby was like, "Alright, just gonna run the ball every play." It's like, "Okay." Which is that's one of the things I like about Kirby. He's not afraid to just be like, "Alright, we're gonna do this the old-fashioned way, power football, good luck. We got the bigger, better guys." Ole Miss, Mississippi State, the last lane game, and Ole Miss dominated. Um, Not much to say. Ole Miss
Mhm.
looked good.
Yep.
Interesting to see how they look without Lane because they looked really good that
They did
game.
look good. They look very good.
Chambliss and Lacey's such a good combo. Man,
Mhm.
those
Mhm.
guys are electric.
Mhm.
Mississippi State, no bowl game, sad. We thought you were gonna get a bowl game.
Yeah, that's alright. I still would grade this season out, and I'm sure we'll do an episode where we grade out seasons for teams as they're not
Yeah,
moving on or they're going to their bowl game or whatever. Um, I would grade this out as a success for Levy. Won a couple games
yeah,
that he shouldn't have won, just couldn't quite get over the hump once he got into SEC play. But I would say that program is still moving in the right direction, and Mississippi State would make a mistake to give up on him in the next 2 years.
yeah. LSU, Oklahoma, obviously, Oklahoma's gonna make the playoff. Their defense is really, really good.
I
They
told you I
Yeah,
told you last week that
yeah.
Oklahoma was gonna have an issue in this game. They
I
should
thought they were
have
gonna
lost
score.
this game. The reason they won this game is because LSU blew a coverage. That's it.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
That's the only reason they won the game. LSU blew a coverage.
That freshman Satina got behind him. Um, yeah, Oklahoma's I think they're one and done in the playoff. That defense is really good, but John Mateer is, regressed. I mean, he's looking really bad. Um, I I think he's probably just hurt. Like, you get hurt and you come back way too quickly and you're not healed, and you're like,
Yeah,
"Now I gotta
yeah,
do it."
yeah, yeah. That's the only thing I can think of, but he does not look his confident self like he was earlier in the year.
No, he looks like a shell of himself.
Mhm.
So, that's, good luck to Oklahoma. Alabama, Auburn, you wanna tell us about it? That was a good game.
It was a great game. It was a great game. Alabama came out. was really kind of methodically taking care of business. And then, I don't even wanna say we took our foot off the gas. The game turned on one play. Alabama goes up 17 to nothing, immediately forces a 3 and out. Good field position. I think we take over at like the 30, the 35 of our own, but that's pretty good field position.
Yeah,
And the next play we run is this stupid flea flicker trick play, and Ty Simpson gets lit up. And from then on, he did not look like himself. Not that he was having a great game beforehand, but I'll guarantee you he would have manufactured 200 plus yards passing, 250. It would have kept coming. He eventually would have opened up down the field just the way we were going. But he gets blown up. Obviously hurts his back. There was rumors going around that he was dealing with some stuff on his back. He definitely tweaked it. You could see him putting that stem and stuff on it on the sidelines.
yeah,
Um, so game turned on that play. They end up getting the ball coming down, and I think that's when they got their first points, and then they got that field goal right before halftime, and then we give up the busted play touchdown on the first drive, and all of a sudden, it's gone from a game we were firmly in control of to they scored 10 points before we got the ball back again, and it's a 7-point game, and, it was really a tale of 3 games, right? Like, Bama kicking butt, 17
yeah,
nothing.
rolling.
Auburn kicking butt to 20-20, and then Bama kicking butt, or, you could even say to if you wanna say, yeah, that's about right, to, what did we win? 27-20, right? Yeah, and then
27-20.
Bama kicking butt in the 4th quarter again. So, we covered a spread in the Iron Bowl in Jordan-Hare. When was the last time that happened?
Yeah.
So it's tough to complain. I'll say the same thing I said when we beat LSU, is like, covered the spread against LSU. I'm not gonna complain about that. I'm not gonna complain about going down there and covering the spread against Auburn in the Iron Bowl in Jordan-Hare. So,
What's going on with Ryan Williams' 0 targets?
I don't know. At first, I thought he didn't play a lot, but then I went back and looked. He played on 38 snaps, so he was in there.
Yeah, he was in there.
I don't know. I do know that he's been dealing with nagging injuries all year,
Mm,
and if he's hurt and can't prepare in practice, then they can't scheme. If your wide receiver that you would like to scheme things for cannot practice in during the week or can't give it his full go during the week, it's tough to scheme things for that kid, right? Like, you gotta scheme it for somebody else. I thought we schemed some stuff up for Lottie, which probably could have gone to Ryan if
yeah,
Ryan was healthier.
and my
There were
guy
also
Horton, Mr. Touchdown.
Oh, dude, Horton here's a TD, baby.
All that guy does is score a touchdown.
I'm telling you. Um And, there was also 1 or 2 plays where we got a lot of pressure. Ty has to do something with it where it looks like Ryan's probably coming open, but Auburn did a good job to their credit. They did a great job disguising coverage and then bringing heat, and even though we blocked it well sometimes, when Ty's back started bothering him, he started bailing on his pocket a little bit,
Yeah,
and, he did not look as comfortable as he has. So we'll see. Hopefully that's, one of those tweaks in game that can be solved with treatment, but you can't do treatment while the game's happening. You know what I'm saying? Hopefully he'll be ready to go. But you're never gonna hear me complain about a cover in the Iron Bowl, Jordan Hare. So way to go, guys. You did what you had to do. A lot of
love it,
character, a lot of character.
love it.
The 4th
Uh,
and 2 call should have happened. I can't believe that we didn't run it on 3rd and 2, but, or run it on 4th and 2. But anyhow, that was if we'd kicked a field goal there, that's how we woulda lost the game because
yeah,
they woulda come down and kicked it and gone to overtime. We'd have lost it in overtime.
that would've been
So,
classic.
it was that's DeBoer, though. That's what you get, wild single score games.
Yeah. Alright, Vanderbilt, Tennessee. Vanderbilt, tie game at half, folks, 21-21. Then Vanderbilt absolutely dominates the second half. Diego Pavia goes full star. He's up to 3rd in the Heisman
I hope
rankings,
he
so
gets up to Atlanta. I don't think he'll win it, but
he'll
that'd
get
be
invited.
great to have him up there.
Yeah, yeah, he'll be one of they'll probably have 4, I think, this year, and he'll be one of the 4. Um,
Over under on how many Pavias go to prison or go to jail in New York
yeah,
during the trip.
yeah, that'd be, like, probably a 3.5, 4.5 type number.
Yeah.
We would need to figure out how big
If
the
it's
family is.
1.5, hammer the over.
Yeah, that's no doubt over. Folks, not to recap this game, I mean, Vanderbilt just dominates the second half. There's some clips coming out of Clark Lee's halftime speech, pretty epic, basically saying,
I need to watch I need to watch those.
we need to go dominate so we can make this playoff, and they're fired up. Love that. Love Clark Lee. He's a big SEC guy. Diego Pavia just absolutely doing it. Right. Yeah, I don't anecdotally, I don't don't like like him as a as a as a person, but I
Gotta
like
respect him
him
as a
as a
player.
player, and I like the idea of him. Um, so I'm impressed by that.
His
It's a real sh
teammates obviously like him, so he can't be that guy bad a guy.
Oh, yeah, and
Yeah.
it's a real shame that Vanderbilt's not gonna go to the college football playoff.
We're
That's
gonna get into that. Don't I've
it's
got
an
my box. I've
indictment
taken the
on
soap out of my box. I've got it turned over. I'm ready to climb on it. So we'll
alright,
get there.
we'll save that. Kentucky, Louisville, we're gonna spend no time on this. 41 nothing. Mark Stoops fired. Kentucky just completely given up.
That
Not
was a
good.
shame. That was to be bowl eligible too. That was a
Yeah,
shame.
that was a shame. South Carolina, Clemson, just absolutely disgusted with this South Carolina team. Um, if you look at the data, you're like, "Oh, man, y'all had, like, 400 yards passing. Y'all are doing this, that,"
All
and
big plays.
it was just, like, 3 huge plays, basically, so don't let that fool you, folks. This was
Can
a
I
really bad effort. Go ahead.
yeah, I was gonna jump in. I watched this game, and I knew that our prediction, mainly your prediction, but I definitely tagged along with it because I felt pretty good when you told me about South Carolina and how they were approaching this game.
Yeah.
I knew we were in trouble when Clemson was methodically going down the field to score, and South Carolina was scoring on, like, one-play drives,
Yeah, just
two-play drive
launching it. Yeah,
bombs. Yeah.
yeah.
I was like, "Oh boy, this is not going to last." They've shown no ability to move the football here. It's
No.
just big plays, so I knew we might be cooked.
Yeah, our interim offensive coordinator, people seem to like him, and I'm like, he OC'd 3 games, and 2 of the 3, we didn't score a single point in the second half, so, like, that's a no for me, just for the record, full time.
Go hire Bobby Petrino. You will
Yeah,
go to the playoff if you hire Bobby Petrino.
yeah, I'm back on the Bobby Petrino train. This is such a crazy turnaround for me. I mean, preseason, folks, I thought Lenora Sellers was gonna be like a Cam Newton-esque, and I can't wait for him to be gone. He's gonna leave and either go to the NFL or enter the portal, and I can't wait to not have to watch that guy. It's just he's not a quarterback, Joe. He doesn't know how to play quarterback, and
He's a
he's
football player. He's just a
yeah,
football player.
he's really regressed this year, and that's been sad to see, and the
Who
thing
do
that
you think
really
he needs to get paired up with in order to make a step? Do you think there's offensive coordinators out there that can do it?
Lane Kiffin, I mean, he could probably get him going.
Lane would just design the offense around his strengths, which would be
Yeah.
good, but
I mean, Lenore Sellers has played his by far 2 worst games against Ole Miss, so Lane Kiffin's probably like, "This guy stinks," so that's not gonna happen, but that's a guy who could get him going. Like, Lincoln Riley could probably get him going. Like, those guys could probably work, but you'd have to be like a top college offensive mind to get this guy to work, because he's broken. I mean, he's so broken, it's not even funny. He threw that pick six, essentially to lose the game, and they showed him on the sideline, he's laughing. No leadership,
can't have
no
that.
drive.
You gonna be
Hate
able to
it.
keep the defensive end out of the portal?
No,
Oh
he
god, he you did back away from the ledge, my man.
no, oh, no, no ledge. I'm actually really folks, I'm interested. I'd like to see South Carolina lose a lot of guys to the portal, and I'd like to see if we can moneyball this thing. Like, let's go find guys that can get the job done. Let's find guys that wanna win because we have no leadership this year, and it's just hard to watch that.
Yeah,
Absolutely
that's
no
bad. That's
leadership.
hard to watch. Yeah.
Nick Harbor said today, "I'm coming back next year," and it's like, "Okay." Like, great. It's like no fanfare. It's like, "What are you doing, dude? Go run in the Olympics." Like, you're
Yeah.
not a you're not a football player. Like, what are we doing? And then Dylan Stewart, they asked him, and he basically was like, "Yeah, I'm definitely going to Ohio State, but we'll see. I'll make a decision soon." Like, he's going to Ohio State. That's the worst kept secret. And then Sellers is like, "I gotta do what's best for me." and it's like, "Dude, just leave." Like, this marriage is over, right? Like, you're not getting better here. I don't think South Carolina, we are not good enough to have a quarterback like you. Like, we need a quarterback that can get the ball out quick because we don't have an offensive line, and you're literally the slowest in Power 5 at getting the football out. You just don't get it out quick, so
Mhm.
just not a good marriage, Joe. I'm disgusted with the South Carolina team, so we'll leave it at that. I can't
Okay.
wait for us to be
All
rid of
right.
Shane Beamer too.
Yeah.
God, that's gonna be great when we fire him next year. Missouri, Arkansas. Missouri, you took care of business.
Yeah.
Congrats. I love
Yeah.
Ahmad Hardy. That guy's the
8 and
man,
4, 8 and 4 in a down year. I actually had this conversation
and they kept Drinkwitz. That
with
feels like a win.
A Missouri grad friend of mine, and I was like, "Listen, there's only about 10 schools in the country that expect to realistically be in contention every single year, and
Yeah,
Missouri's not one of them. So, in a down year at Missouri or in a cycle year where you're not cycled up and you're cycling around, to go 8 and 4, it's not a bad year, and you were a couple plays away from being better too, like, you were in games. It's not like
yeah,
you were getting blown out, in every game.
and
So,
you kept your coach, who's, proven to be a good coach.
yeah, I think the one time you got blown out was when you had the 3rd string quarterback playing against A&M. Again, sign of a fraudulent A&M,
Yeah,
but that was the one time. So, I think Missouri should be pretty pleased, and they should also be pleased they were able to lock up Drink.
I agree. That's big. And then
Mhm.
last but not least, I was texting Joe about this game because I was cracking up. Florida State, folks. Florida ran 60 plays. They handed it to their running back, Jaden Ball, 40 times,
Should have
2
been
out of
doing this
every 3
earlier.
plays.
Yeah. Should have been doing this earlier. I'll be interested
Remember
to
when we
see.
joked about that? If we were Florida's coach, we would just I think earlier in the season, we're like, "You should just hand it to him every play."
Yeah, I was after
Like,
the what was it?
literally did
Not the
that.
LSU game. What game did they play? Was it Texas where he carried the ball like 21 times and played really well? I think that might have, and
Yeah.
they upset Texas. Yeah, I think that might have been it. But yeah, I mean,
40 carries
I'll
for
be really interested
266
to
yards.
say that again. I'm sorry.
40 carries for 266. Cha-ching.
Yeah, buddy.
Marcus Lattimore numbers.
I was about to say he ought to go into the portal and make himself some money.
Oh, yeah.
Uh, because Golish ain't gonna give him the ball like that.
No. I
He's not
mean,
gonna hand him the ball like that.
watching that game, it was absolutely hilarious. Every 1st and 2nd down, they handed it to him.
You know
Every
what?
single
I
one.
just sounded like such a dum dum. I said Golish ain't gonna give him the ball. Summerall might give him the ball like that, so maybe he shouldn't.
Yeah,
Um,
Golesh is at Auburn. Yeah,
Goals
yeah.
is at Auburn. Yep.
Yeah, Summerall's not afraid to tote the rock, so you might be onto
Mhm.
something. Alright, let's talk about these college football playoff rankings.
Oh, yeah, buddy. So,
Give me your take.
as we alluded to, Bama jumps Notre Dame, fixes a previous mistake by the committee. Huh, funny enough, did you watch the show? Did you see, Yurchek
No,
talking about it. He
no.
again brought up our run game, but this time in a positive. So it is clear, folks. Huge criteria for the committee is you have to be able to run the football.
Oh, yeah, baby. Gotta
So I
tote the
was
rock.
joking with all my fraternity brothers afterwards. I was like, guys, we can lose to Georgia this weekend, no problem. We just
Just
need to make sure we
run it
run the ball
60
well, and we'll
times.
be fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's,
Y'all are gonna go
as long as we run the football and get over 150 yards rushing, we're good.
Joe, is it possible well, I'll save it for the SEC championship. Is it possible that we go double vanilla? Just both teams are like, "We're not showing it. We're saving it for the playoffs."
Let's hold that for just a little bit.
Okay.
Let's hold that just for a little bit. I we'll run through the rankings real quick. Do you have them
Yeah.
pulled up?
Yeah,
Run them
I've got
through
them
for the
pulled up.
viewers in
Let me
case they
run through
missed
them.
it.
So,
So yeah.
Ohio State 1, Indiana 2, Georgia 3, Texas Tech 4. If things stayed that way, those are the teams that would get a bye. Oregon 5, Ole Miss 6, Texas A&M 7, Oklahoma 8, Alabama 9, Notre Dame 10. And then 11, 12, the rest don't really matter because those are gonna go to conference champs. So, right now, people are thinking a team like North Texas is probably gonna be in,
So
and then
I'm gonna jump in here and disagree with you. I think it does matter a lot that Miami has made it to the 12th spot, and BYU is the only team who is playing this weekend BYU is between Notre Dame and Miami being compared directly to each other with that head to head. I think Notre Dame should be really nervous right now.
You think they're gonna get dropped?
Well, it looks like if BYU wins, Notre Dame is gonna get dropped. However, if BYU loses, then you're gonna have Miami and Notre Dame sitting there right next to each other, both with 2 losses. Miami would have the better record. They would have the more wins against top 25 teams. Notre Dame has 1, Miami would have 2, and they would have the head to head. It
But
would
if
be
Virginia
very,
wins
very
the ACC, wouldn't they jump Miami?
I'm saying that Miami's gonna go to that 10 spot, and then your ACC basically the 11 and 12 are taken, right, by
Yeah,
those conference champions.
yep.
The 10 spot is gonna be what's up for debate. If
Uh,
Alabama can't get blown out, right? Now, if BYU wins, then they're gonna also force themselves in the mix. Notre Dame's toast. The 10 spot is toast at that point.
oh, yeah, if
What
BYU wins, they're absolutely in.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So they're gonna take Notre Dame's spot. The scenario I'm talking about right now, and this is why if I was Notre Dame, I would be so nervous. BYU loses to Texas Tech, like they're more than likely going to do, right? That's all that's separating Miami and Notre Dame. It's gonna be a very, very hard sell for the committee to have Notre Dame at 10, Miami at 11 in the rankings, right? That doesn't mean that's the spots, their seeds they're gonna have. Those are the rankings.
Yeah,
And ignore that head to head and the resume of both. Because I've always said that wins should count more than losses. Who you beat should count more than who you lose to. Miami's losses aren't as good as Notre Dame's. However, they still lost to 2 bowl eligible teams. It's not like they lost to losing records, right? They
well, yeah,
lost to SMU and, Louisville, both of which are going to bowl games.
and key data point, they beat Notre Dame. Key data point for the argument.
Not even to that data point yet.
Yeah,
Not even to that data point. Miami has 2 wins against this college football playoff top 25. Notre Dame only has 1, okay? Uh, Now the key data point, Miami beat Notre Dame. So if I'm Notre Dame, I think it's one of these damned if you do, damned if you don't. I think you're in trouble, bud. I think you're in big trouble because no matter what happens, if you're getting compared head to head to Miami, I think you are gonna lose that. I think they're finally gonna do what they should have done and rank Miami ahead of Notre Dame. And if BYU wins, obviously they're gonna take your spot too. So Notre Dame is sitting there needing Alabama to get blown out by Georgia so that they can move back into that number 9 spot. That's what
yeah.
they need to have happen.
I'll
Um,
tell you the other exciting piece of this is the 12 seed. So, James Madison's gonna play
yes.
Troy in the Sun Belt, and they're gonna win. So they're number 25. They're gonna go to 12 and 1. But then North Texas is playing Tulane, and North Texas is probably gonna win. So North Texas is ranked 24, and they're also gonna be at 12 and 1. So the committee's gonna have to choose, "Alright, are we gonna put in James Madison or North Texas?" And that's gonna be interesting because 'cause they're 24-25 right now.
Yeah, I mean, I think if they got it 24-25 and North Texas wins, I think they're definitely in.
Yeah, and North Texas plays Tulane, which is a better competition,
Yeah,
so
yeah. So, the winner of the North Texas Tulane game is firmly in. Um, if Duke beats Virginia, then I think JMU is gonna go. And I'm just gonna say this is ridiculous that we're even having this conversation.
yeah.
Um, it's ridiculous we're having this conversation on so many levels, not to mention the smallest level of them all is all 3 of those teams no longer have their head coach.
Yeah.
North Texas, JMU, Tulane all lost their head coaches.
Oh, have they
So
all gone though? Because Eric Morris for North Texas is gonna coach through the playoff.
I understand that, but they've all lost their head coaches.
Oh, sure, for the
You
next
see what
year,
I'm
right.
saying? Like, I kudos to him for sticking around and doing what Lane was too small of a man to do. But, you know, I just the spirit of this is a prime example of trying to do too much good and
Yeah.
having it just be dumb.
Yeah.
The spirit of what they were trying to do with the 5 highest conference, that only worked when the Pac-12 was still a conference. As soon as the Pac-12 dissolved, or okay, it hasn't dissolved, but as soon as it basically dissolved, they should have taken it to 4, which is what it'll be next year.
Yeah.
But we're in a scenario here where we have teams that are very undeserving of a shot that are gonna be playing for a national title.
Well, and think about the ratings too, like, no one's gonna care about Oregon, North Texas, but Oregon, Vanderbilt, absolutely
That's
electric.
that's and
Welcome to the electric factory.
that is where we're getting robbed. That's where we're
Yeah.
getting robbed
Oh
here,
my
folks.
gosh.
Um,
I'd be so
Miami and
pumped for
BYU.
Oregon,
Now,
Vandy.
I don't have a problem if Virginia wins the ACC. I do not have a problem with a 10-2 Virginia ACC champ taking that and going into the top 12. That's fine, but I've got a real problem if they lose and we've got 2 group of 5 teams in there when you've got,
Oh my
let's
gosh,
just say
boring.
BYU and Miami.
Ole
Don't
Miss,
even have
JMU, and Oregon, North Texas.
Yeah, I mean,
Boring, boring.
imagine Oregon, BYU, or I guess it would be Oregon, Miami, and BYU, Ole Miss. I mean, those are fantastic matchups.
Oh, yeah.
It'd be great to see Vanderbilt, Ole Miss, you
Oh my
know?
gosh.
I'd like to see Texas, Ole Miss, I mean, any of that. I was surprised they jumped Texas all the way to 13, but good for them. It was kind of the safe move, wasn't it? They could sit there and jump them way up there and be like, "See, we're not punishing you for the loss to Ohio State. There's just that many good teams in front of you."
Yeah. You're
But
you're not getting punished, you did the right thing, and you beat Vandy, so you get to be ahead of them, like,
exactly,
they
exactly.
they clearly got in the they got on the whiteboard for that one, the chalkboard, and figured that out, which was good.
Yeah, yeah.
Alright, Joe, last but not least segment, Joe Monroe, 5-minute SEC championship
Hold on. Not
preview.
yet, not yet. Let's let's try to rank how it's going to play out the seeding real
Okay,
quick.
let me pull them up.
So Ohio State
Uh,
beats Indiana. Where do you think they fall to?
Indiana?
Yeah,
No, they'll stay at 2.
really?
Yeah.
I think they'll drop one spot.
Well,
Uh,
they'll be in a bye, so, yeah.
There'll be
Whether
a
that's
bye.
2 or
Yeah.
3 or 4, whatever, still,
Uh, Georgia probably gets a bye.
you're assuming they win.
I think Georgia's gonna win.
Okay, so
I don't
Ohio
know.
State,
I'm
Indiana,
never gonna pick
Georgia,
against the
Texas
Tide.
Tech are all
Yeah.
buys.
I'm never gonna pick against the Tide, and I'll outline in a second how the Tide needs to win,
Yeah.
but if we're just going chalk, Georgia wins. I think Texas Tech wins, they get the bye. Oregon, Ole Miss,
So this
um,
one would be Ohio State 1, Georgia 2, Indiana 3, Texas Tech 4, basically, is what you're saying?
yeah, I think Indiana's gonna drop. I think it's gonna be Ohio State, Georgia. Um, I
Yeah,
think a one-loss SEC champ is greater than a one-loss Big Ten runner-up.
yeah,
Um,
that's fair.
and so I think that's gonna flip. Um, I do think Oregon I think basically the rest of it stays,
Yep.
except for I think Miami is in there over Notre Dame.
Nice, okay.
And then if Alabama does win, then the order gets a little bit more interesting. You've got Ohio State to 1. I still think that Indiana drops. Um, I think they'll say that a one-loss Big 12 champ is higher than a one-loss Big 10 runner-up. Texas
Makes
Tech
sense.
moves into the 2. Indiana moves into the 3. It'll be super interesting to see what they do with Oregon and Bama. Do they give Bama a two-loss SEC champ the bye at the 4,
They'll give
or do
Bama
they
the bye, 100%.
I think they will too.
They're not gonna have
Um
3 they're not gonna have 3 teams from the same conference get a
I
bye.
don't think they
No,
will either. I don't think they
no.
will either. So then you're gonna have Bama at the 4. Do
Yeah,
they drop Georgia all the way to 6, or do
love it.
they or do they just drop them to 5? Because that means that we're gonna see round 3 of Bama, Georgia in the quarterfinals. If it's 4 and 5, Bama, Georgia.
Oh, yeah.
At the 6th spot, I don't think we'd see him till the what would that be? Probably the semis, right? No, we
They
wouldn't see him
wouldn't see
until
'em to the
wouldn't see him
championship,
till the
they'd be on the
title.
opposite
Yeah,
half, yeah.
they'd be on the opposite side. So anyhow, that'll be really interesting to see where the Georgia, Oregon would play out. Then it basically, I think it just shifts everybody back. Ole Miss would then be the 7, A&M the 8, Oklahoma the 9, uh, and then depending on that BYU Notre Dame BYU, Texas Tech, if we're gonna say Texas Tech loses, or excuse me, Texas Tech wins, then I still maintain Miami. I think Notre Dame's cooked. I think they're in trouble unless Bama gets beat really badly.
I like
Um,
it.
so,
It's
all
a good
right,
pick.
jump into
All
the
right.
SEC championship
Joe
game.
Monroe 5-minute SEC championship preview starts now.
All right. So this game is going to look absolutely nothing like the first matchup.
Yeah.
Both teams are limping into the game. Georgia's beat to pieces. Bama's beat to pieces.
They also
Um,
no incentive to show their cards. Minimal
well,
incentive to show their cards.
you say that Georgia has a lot less incentive than Bama does. Bama still needs to either win this game or lose by just a very competitive game.
Yeah,
We
Bama needs
cannot go
to be
get blown out,
close.
right?
Yeah, yeah.
Um, but Bama's not starting out, what was it, 9 for 9 on third down conversions or something stupid like that, whatever that was. We're not doing that again. Uh, Alabama has made adjustments and gotten personnel back on defense that their edge is not gonna be as easy to get to and outflank Bama on the run game for Georgia. And Tim Keenan is back and playing some of his best football ever. It was his first game back, that Georgia game, in September, and he was just kind of a blob in the middle and muddied stuff up. He's making plays now.
He's
It's
back,
not gonna
baby.
be Yeah, it's not gonna be easy sledding, especially since he's gonna be lined up over the second string center, basically. So, just getting that right there, it's gonna look nothing like I think this is gonna look like a defensive, just slobber knocker game,
Oh, yeah.
and whichever team can make the big play, whether that be a key turnover, a huge special teams play, huge special teams play could come to, like, who misses a field goal, right?
Yeah, oh,
Like,
yeah.
okay, or who gets somebody behind the DB. We both dropped for sure touchdowns in the first game, so we both know that we have the ability to get a wide receiver behind defensive backs. Who's gonna get one back there, catch it, and score? Whoever does that and gets that freebie short field touchdown, long play touchdown, wins the middle 8. Who wins the middle 8? Who defers, is able to score right before halftime, and then get more points coming out? That is probably gonna be that's probably gonna be the team that wins. Um, I lean towards Georgia to win this game. E If I had to bet, I would probably take Georgia to cover 2.5. I think it's more likely that Georgia wins by 7 or 3, than it is they win by 1. I do think Alabama has just as good a chance as we did back in, September, though,
Yeah.
and I may wake up I think listeners, something to look forward to, doing an emergency pod from Atlanta, either Friday night or Saturday morning, quick one. So, I may change my tune here and be beating my chest, roll tiding like a
Ready to go.
maniac. Yeah, before the game. I, um, I just think our injuries make us a little bit more limited than what Georgia is. Pretty good even match defenses. I think Georgia, if it's a man on man game, I think Georgia's running game, while we'll do a good job of stopping it, come the fourth quarter, it might be able to salt a game away and keep the ball out of our hands. And, I just think we don't have a weapon really running the ball, even though the running game has improved, and I expect it to be improved against Georgia. I think they're gonna have to deal with a running game that's gonna operate more efficiently than it did in September. This was our 3rd straight SEC game against a good defense, where we didn't have any negative rushes, which is huge.
Yeah,
Um, so I just we don't have the Cuevas loss is just tremendous. Ryan Williams has obviously been hurt, and is not, getting the ball in his hands too difficult.
yeah,
I think when you really break it down, our loss of productivity is gonna affect us a little bit more than Georgia's ability to scheme up against some of their injuries on the offensive line.
yeah, and the data's interesting on this. Georgia's good at running the ball, and they're really good at stopping the run. Alabama's good at passing the ball, and they're really good at stopping the pass.
Yeah.
So you've
Yeah.
got, sort of 2 opposites here, and it's
Yep.
I'm with you. I like to call these games, like, games in the mud where it's just These are gonna be
It's
2
gonna be it's gonna be a fun game. I'm really excited that we're going. Bill and I are headed up. We're gonna do the aquarium and College Football Hall of Fame on Friday,
nice.
and, then we're gonna go have a big steak dinner Friday night at either
Love that.
Bones or Ruth Chris or somewhere, and then,
Nice.
we're gonna do the SEC fan zone before the game, so it's gonna
Cool.
be a good day. Varsity, we'll slip a couple chili dogs and a big orange frosted orange in there.
Love it. Make
Yeah.
sure to bring your travel Tums. Your
Yeah,
travel in essence, folks.
big time, buddy.
Hashtag not sponsored. Not
Yeah.
sponsored.
Wish we were, not sponsored.
Love it. Alright, Joe. Well, good episode.
Good episode,
Good
yeah.
luck.
This is
Good luck this
exciting, I
weekend.
appreciate it, yep. We'll come to you live from Atlanta,
Yeah,
but,
let's reconvene Friday.
yep, this was good.
Alrighty. Until next time, folks. Big
Roll
SEC
Tide.
guys, we're out.